Hey everyone, I'm Caroline Rena on the Ride of My Life podcast. And last week, August 3rd, was my 58th birthday, and that led into some incredible aha moments and experiences and different things that helped me to recognize things about my life that I'd never seen before. And so I'd like to just kind of give an idea of what's going on before I head into my poem from last year, which I wrote on September 1st, 2021, as part of my process. So my birthday kind of put me into, I call it a void. There's other words for it, where you're kind of like, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but where you're kind of like leaving one space behind you and you're about to go into a new space, but there's an in-between piece where it's like, I'm leaving here, but I don't know where I'm going. So it's kind of, sometimes it can be intimidating, sometimes it can be scary, sometimes there's all kinds of feelings that can come up. And in that space is where I've been sitting over the last, probably about a month or so, maybe even longer. I continue to do my healing work in Oklahoma City, but I'm also on the precipice of starting some different processes and different ideas that we're getting moving here. I'm staying with my friend, and we've got a group that we're starting. Not really a group. I don't even want to get into it yet, but I just wanted to share that we've been working on that and bringing people in to the main core group or leadership team, whatever you want to call it, and it's part of this process. Along with that, I've also been working with my friend from Japan to get his course to Florida, or it was 2 courses, and we've run into a challenge as far as physical location, but we are now working on a webinar, or a workshop. So we're working on putting that together right now, hopefully to be put out there, at some point in September. So we're getting there. It's just, there's a lot going on with the distance, and the time is all different and everything. But anyway, having said that, so let me get back to also, in the meantime, through all of this, I watch how things happen with myself, with my life, with the people I'm connecting with. And over the past week, it's been such a blessing. Being with Valerie in Colorado Springs was already, superb. It was, I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity from her to heal. And then from there, coming to stay with my friends in Oklahoma and starting these processes, working with other people, getting things rolling and then being in this void, or she gave me another word for it and I can't think of it. It begins with an L. If you know it, let me know, because I forgot. Valerie! Anyway, so what's happened since last Wednesday is I've started to recognize that I am loved, and there are people around me who want to be there to support me. And these are the people that when I was younger or my childhood, my teenage years, whatever, I would push this person away because I desperately wanted a certain type of individual to see me, to hear me, to love me. And that type of individual was not available for that. But I pushed and pushed and pushed until I started pushing people away. And then I felt like there was something wrong with me, and there's this whole thing going on. And I felt like that was part of my experience, my looking at life and learning from my mistakes and all that as I grew up and as I got older. And so I had a beautiful dinner that I posted about with my Oklahoma my family here, who we had a wonderful time, and that was on my birthday. And then the next day we were doing like painting. I can't even begin to tell you how challenging that is for me, but I got through it. I'm still working on those paintings, but that was last Thursday. And then Friday, I kind of took a break and relaxed, didn't do much of anything. And then this past Saturday, we went out and just to Ormond, Oklahoma, and we just had some fun, and it was amazing. I loved it. And then on Sunday, yesterday, we went over and spent some time with part of the family here, and had dinner and had another painting party and enjoyed time with them yesterday. So it's been, I don't normally do more than my birthday as my birthday, and I do it differently. Usually I'm by myself, and I like to see how, whatever my next steps are going to be, and I'll go for a walk or I'll do this. And I decided this year I wanted to do it different and have fun with it. And I still took some time for myself, but it wasn't the same that I used to do. I mean, I was like so hyper focused on myself, and it actually felt huge, good, amazing. So, one of the things that I learned about this was yesterday. Yesterday, I posted something so Saturday night and this entire weekend, I was actually supposed to be in Virginia for my 40th high school reunion, and I could not go. There were some things that flipped around that changed, and I was just not able to get there and make it to that. And as we have a group, a Facebook group where things are posted in there, and there were pictures, and I was looking at old pictures, and I started to, think about what was going on with me at that time, and I made some discoveries. And the thing I said about, not feeling like I really belonged anywhere, because I had gotten to the point where those that I loved didn't really see me. That's how I felt, and that I felt like, or it felt like that, so whatever they were doing or not doing, or, had nothing to do with them in some capacity, but in some ways it did for me, because I felt like unloved, unimportant, on all the uns. And so I felt like that about everything. And when I was in high school, my teenager was going through trying to figure out, I wasn't at that time. What I did was I made a post on there, and I said, hey, when I was going through my teenage years, or even before that, I was literally not able, from my memory, to play with or be with friends who were not Jewish, because I was raised Jewish, and I never knew what that was all about. And so I felt alone, and I felt lonely, and I was looking for other outlets and people to make friends with and that sort of thing. And I found them, and some of them weren't like super good, as far as healthy for me, but it was something that I felt like I needed to look for, because I didn't feel like I could gain that from the high school that I was in. So my teenager, number one, the movie Carrie came out, and my nickname in high school was Carrie, and that was overwhelming for me, and I got bullied about that. And then there was, trying to fit in, and so because I couldn't fit in, I would just go to different groups and just hang with the different groups, and it was a protective mechanism, but it made me feel like I could learn about different people. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but that's what I did. And I shared this. There were other pieces of it where it was like I totally lost myself as a teenager, and I was so sad and so angry and so hurt and so misinformed about life that I didn't know how to do anything. And so I tried so hard to get in with friends, and I felt like I couldn't do it. And so I basically gave an explanation about that, and got these, oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you, these amazing responses back that I never expected. And there are so many people out there, and that's the whole point behind this. There's so many people out there who won't share what happened, or won't share the feelings of what happened when they were younger or whatever, because they didn't feel like they would be heard, maybe because they didn't feel like that they would be honored, maybe, I don't know what it is, but as children, we just kind of, we don't know how to rectify that. And I've never had challenge with sharing how I feel about things, but it opened my eyes to see how many people were actually going through the same thing that I was feeling. And in gratitude to see and these people being so brave and expressing their feeling that way too, and it was like, wow, this is amazing. And also to the point where one of my friends, and this was like, I can't even, if I start crying, bear with me, because it took me 15 minutes to get out of that one yesterday, because that's when I read it. She was telling me that she moved from Miami to Virginia, and she told me a little bit about her story and yesterday, and how she felt bullied herself when she got to the school that we were at, and how in one of our classes I met her. And I said, I don't even remember this. She remembers, and this is how a joke between us got started. But I remembered I was sharing my grapes with her, and I didn't even know that I even had grapes, given to me. I thought it was something else, but it doesn't. I don't remember grapes in high school. But it's okay, because this is a joke that got started between the two of us. And we used to laugh about it, and we'd always play around with it. Eat a grape, here, eat a grape. It may not sound funny, but for us it was, and it was helpful because we could connect. And she was telling me how, because of my kindness in seeing that she was new and and all that she took all that in and ended up teaching her daughters when they got older how to do that. And I was like completely floored, because I never thought that I had such an impact. and it was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And this is my teenager, this is my teenager who thought nobody liked me, and nobody wanted to be around me, but that wasn't true, because all of us who were either highly sensitive or in that separate space from, whatever you want to call, I guess, the popular kids, whatever that was, all of us were felt alone, and it was like, but we never knew enough to get together, I guess. I don't know. This was my experience, to get together and befriend each other and share that with each other, because we didn't know how to talk about that. And so even though I didn't get to go to the reunion, it blessed me. The existence of it this past weekend, along with my birthday, blessed me with an opportunity to heal my teenager, because my teenager felt so freaking alone and lost. And the point behind this is that we hold these feelings inside of us. And in order to move on to what we want to do in our lives, there has to be grieving. There has to be letting go. There has to be release. There has to be support. There has to be love. There has to be, heart coherence. All these things come together. But if we don't know that they even exist, we don't know how to put that together. And so all of my whole life, my whole experience in my life has been about that. And so last year, when I was in that space, I had already been in the void, but then I felt like I was going deeper in, and I felt like I was getting ready to come out of that void. And that's what it feels like right now for me. I'm preparing. I'm staying a little bit longer in Oklahoma, but I am preparing to go back to Florida. And it's like, I feel like I'm going to break a dam in the energy of this sacred space that I'm in. So the poem itself, I'm going to share the poem with you, and let's see where that goes. But like I said, I wrote it on September 1st of last year, and I called it Into the Void. Okay. I've got to go. I've got to go. Into this void. It must be so. I am scared. What is in there? I do not know. I must prepare. Prepare for what? I do not know. Another chance for me to grow? Inside my heart, inside my soul, I must prepare, stay in control. All of a sudden, a still small voice says to me, you cannot avoid. Going into the darkness, it is safe within. You need not plan, you only begin. Surrender is the way, you see. Faith and trust in God and me. Time to go, and it must be soon. Into the darkness, into my cocoon. What happens there? I disappear. It turns me into a ball of fear. But wait, that voice keeps following me as I keep hoping that nothing is scary or dangerous. The fear is only on the surface. As long as I trust and go inside, I will be okay. I won't have to hide. For you see, the other thing inside is a light that is glistening. It may only just begin as a spark, and a fire that grows which lightens the dark. The fire itself reminds me so well of the phoenix rising as opposed to the hell. I have been living inside myself for an eternity and could not be expelled. From the pain and heartache I had endured only helped me to grow, and now I am sure that the beautiful spark I now see is no longer contained. I have found who I am and have much to gain. From these aha moments I keep on gleaning. Now the void has so much more meaning. As I go through this each and every day, I sit with it and I have to say, it's not so scary. I am still alive. I'm close to revealing that I have arrived. Wow. Okay. So I always find it interesting how similar that is to, from almost an entire year ago to where I'm at right now, how cycles are, it's the same. It's like spring once a year, summer once a year, fall or autumn once a year, winter every year. And it shifts because we heal and we grow and we come to a different perspective in life. And these are the things that I want to put out there and share with people and connect with people on and show that it's okay. It's okay. This darkness is not, it can feel scary from our experiences, but it's not as scary as we think. It's like having that, being little kids and being scared of this monster under the bed or whatever. And then the minute the light goes on, it's like, oh, there's nothing under there. That's not a bad thing. And yeah, I mean, it's so important for me to share these things with you guys because the blessings that they bring, the bliss that the healing brings to life, to my life, to be able to share with other people. I could have never done this when I was in my teens or youth. I could have never done it like 5 years ago like this. There's a happening here. There's a quickening. That's what it's called, like a quickening right before birth happens, and it makes things come to fruition, and that's what's happening. And it's when we heal, when we feel, when we connect, when we learn how to support others and support ourselves. I'm coming from my own space. I'm coming from my own experience. I don't expect you to believe everything I'm telling you, but at least if you feel a connection, that's good enough for me, And so just to let you know that there's options out there to feel connected with people. You just got to find them and be open to finding them. Like I isolated for so long that my openness was not available to me. And now I'm once again starting something where it will help with people connecting and healing and growing. And I'm just so excited about doing this. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I don't know where this is leading. It doesn't matter. I'm having fun with it. And I really want to share with you that everything is okay. It really is okay. and I'm here to support if you need the support. I've got hair falling out on me. And I can, my website, you'll see at the end of the video, but it's carolinerena.com. I'm at the present moment doing transformational coaching and energy healing, and I've got my poem, my inner peace poem oracle, and I'm also doing, like, I don't even know how to explain this because I use oracle cards for people. However, I don't do it in the same, like, projecting the future or whatever from the cards. It's more like a guidance. Like, I use the coaching as a guidance with the cards to help determine or discover or recognize or whatever the next step to take. So I've got that stuff going on too. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I can do, and I can't even explain all of the things because I've learned them myself, and I just kind of incorporate them into what I do. So that's not easy to explain. No elevator speeches for me. It's just not happening. It's all channeling. I pull in whatever feels right in the moment to share or help with somebody or guide them. So anyway, thank you so much for this particular one, especially being here with me on my birthday week, whatever that is. And I hope that you discover the hope inside of you, because it's there. And hope is not a negative word. It doesn't feel like it's reachy, graspy. It gives you this, for me, it's a spark, and the spark will grow. So, so blessings to all of you, and thank you so much for being in my life and following me and listening to me, and hopefully it helps. And so anytime you're open to connecting, I'm here. So I guess that's about it. Hope you have an amazing day or night or moment, and that's about it. Peace. All right, take care.